Good morning and welcome to Better Thyself segment of Dr.Lamba's Awakening Call. This has been a period which has been very trying for the people. And the people have suffered. People have to work from home. And when you work from home, the problem is that you are in the habit of putting off things that you can do. Procrastination sets in. You are unable to focus on work. And that is disastrous, both for you professionally and personally. As a matter of fact, procrastination is inbuilt. But when you are working from home, you want to get the things done, then procrastination can be really deleterious to your efforts. Given the Covid19 situation, more of us working from home, and this is a time when you're not alone at home. Your family is there, they're doing work, children are doing their school work, maybe your spouse is fiddling with the TV, or indulging in social media, or doing the household chores. And all that does impact your attention. At the best of the time, procrastination is a challenge. And it becomes more challenging at such a time because it's very difficult to get yourself to sit down and work steadily. Well, if you have to better thyself, I'm giving you 9 tips that if you adopt, you will find them useful in avoiding the feeling of procrastination. These 9 tips would help you focus on your work and get things done when you're working from home. And who knows, working from home might become a permanent feature of your job. So the first thing is that you have to get started. Often we procrastinate because it's hard to get started. To fight this, break the job in manageable pieces. Each job that you do, each work you do is a set of different pieces. They dovetail, amalgamate, and then the whole work is done. So divide them into manageable pieces. As a matter of fact, this is useful even when you're working in the office or at your work desk. Push yourself to manage and accomplish just one step at a time. Maybe the one step may take the whole day. Well, then tomorrow is there for the next step and day after another step. But you will find that when you break up the job in manageable steps, taking up one step at a time, you would find it much easier to continue, and when a job is easier, then procrastination doesn't set in. Procrastination is always there when a job is too tough. Secondly, work uninterrupted for realistic blocks of time. And now you know, the attention period of every individual is different, but it's not unlimited. Some people have a brief attention span, others have a longer span. So judge your span. Normally, 20 minutes is an average attention span, and then your thoughts are fluttering. Your mind is going astray. So work uninterrupted for the block of time, 25 minutes, 30 minutes, 50 minutes. Depending on your own capability, you can always identify. So work continuously, absolutely, without any distraction, for that block of time. As I said, it can range from 20 minutes to 50 minutes and maybe 1 hour. Then take a 10 minutes break. This is called Pomodoro method. The Pomodoro method is that you work for some time, relax and work again. By that time, new ideas will come to you. You will have a fresh insight on the issue and you will be better prepared mentally, physically to tackle the job, and the job will become much easier. So adopt this Pomodoro method. The third important is protect yourself from interruption. You are in a home. You can tell your partner, your spouse, look here, let me work for this block of time and then we can discuss something. Tell your children not to disturb you when you're working in that block of time. Talk to your family about respecting your do not disturb time. When you are disturbed, when there is interruption, the link breaks. And then, even if telephone rings, that can break your link. So that's why I, as a CEO, never had a phone on my table. I would always be with my secretary, and she knew when I'm working not to disturb me, she put that person on a hold, and then quietly tell him that we'll call the person back, or he should call after 10 minutes. Simple. So, if possible, work in a space where you are alone. Have your own nook, have your own corner, so that even unintentionally nobody disturbs you. Now this is a big problem. We work in a home and we want to say be in the living room. Naturally, when you're in the living room, the children would come, your wife would come, your friends can talk. So why not have a nook, a corner, where people would know that you're working, and when you are not working, when that brief span of time is over, that block of time is over, you can walk in and the people can interact with you. You may need to rearrange the way your home is. For instance, a walk-in closet could become a phone booth. So you have some privacy for difficult calls you need to make. But that's not enough. You have to protect yourself from the temptation of the internet. Luckily, there are programs and apps now which are very helpful, like Freedom, Rescue Time, Self-Control. They automatically disconnect you from internet. And most importantly, from particularly distracting websites. Turn off the notifications on your phone. Don't check your social media during work time. So when there are no notifications, no ping, you will not be distracted. And as a matter of fact, I have seen to it that my phone never gives a notification. So people tell me, well, I called you, I sent you a message, this and that. I tell them, look here, you have sent the message there, and when I look at it, I'll get back to you. Of course, when the phone rings, because I don't turn it on mute, then I attend to it, and many times even I turn the ringer off as well. So I'm not disturbed. As long as I'm working somewhere, I don't want to be disturbed by these welcome but undesirable calls. So you have to protect yourself from the temptation of internet. Internet is the most distracting element today, and we have got to ensure that we are not disturbed. And then, most important is that you have to give yourself a transitional task to get into the work mindset. Now, it's not easy. When you're working from an office, you're going from home, you are physically, mentally prepared that you're going, you're driving down or riding a public transit, reach office, by the time your mind automatically gets in the tune of working. But here you are in home, right from the dining table, you are going to the workstation. So it's difficult to switch from that leisurely family life into the latest news that challenge your work assignment. So give yourself a transitional task. For example, check the news and do any work-related task for a few moments. And that task should be a sort of a station between your family life and the work life. And that transitional task would modulate your mind and condition it to work. Work is definitely required, but you've got to have a proper mindset. So when you are in a proper frame of mind, then tackle the procrastination task. This will be much easier. So you get up, you are having breakfast, don't think of the breakfast, talk of the news, and then say, wow, I've got to work. Remind yourself 3 stages and set work. Then set aside a specific time for a task you have been putting off. You keep on putting off this. So set it aside. And during that time which you have set aside for a task which you have been putting off, don't allow yourself to do anything. This needs a lot of self-discipline, lot of self-control. I normally say working is one of the most dangerous forms of procrastination. Working itself is procrastination because you are putting off other work. Doing laundry is procrastination if what you really need is working on the annual report. So work, both are work, but you have got to prioritize the work and see that the laundry is not done when you are working from home. You have got to realize the difference between working from home and working at home. Most of us ignore the preposition from and at, and they become interchangeable. And thereby lies the core of the problem. Then, suppose there is a task which you have been dreading, you are afraid, you don't want to do it, because it needs a lot of time, energy. So, such a dreaded task, such a challenging task, you should take up when your energy level and your focus is at the highest. For example, if you are a morning person like I am, I always start working at 3 o'clock in the morning. And by 6 o'clock now I am talking to you, mountain time, 8 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. By that time, my energy level is at the highest, so I can keep on working at that time. And people are amazed that I work in the morning, but then that's an ideal time for me. But it's not necessary for everybody. There are people who are night owls, so perhaps working after lunch may be better. So you have got to schedule the dreaded task, the task which you don't want to take up immediately, when your energy level and your focus level is optimum. I'm not saying maximum, I'm saying optimum. And the 8th suggestion, don't be shy of asking for help. We often procrastinate because we are afraid and we don't know exactly how to proceed. Now, if you don't know how to proceed, the best thing is to ask a colleague, a friend, a partner, yourself for help. Seek their suggestion, and if possible, if they are suitable, if they are logical, adopt them. If they are not, forget them. Ask yourself, could someone help me move forward? What information would make it easier to take the next step? You can search Google, you can go on the web. But that's not internet distraction because you are working. So, seeking help and then using that help would remove your habit to procrastinate. And most important, why do we procrastinate? We want to rest. We are tired. We are exhausted. So we say, okay, I'm tired now. I'll take up this job after some time. That's the time when you are having low energy. Make sure that you are getting distraction enough. Because many times distraction is a fuel to fire up your energy. Take some exercise. Turn your self-control on a higher pitch. A productive work day starts the day before. Don't forget that. If you want to work hard tomorrow, if you want to work hard so that you do not procrastinate tomorrow, prepare yourself physically and mentally for that job today. I know, for example, that I have to talk to you about this today. So I thought, okay, what should I be? And I'm here for you. So these tips are generally useful, particularly useful for particular tendencies. Important for you. Dress up. Don't be slouchy. This is the 10th tip. I have seen people working from home to be dressed in the nightgowns. Who is going to come? Why do I waste time on dressing up? But dressing up is most important. As a matter of fact, even in the offices, the dress code should be adhered, and that Friday dressing, which is nowadays, is in fact harmful. I can understand some professions not using it. But most of the work, if you are properly attired, you would feel the urge to work. You are not dressed properly, you are dressed in a nightgown, you might like to want to go sleep. But if you are dressed up in a suit, you would have to sit upright and work, or walk around and work. This is what I learned from my dad. Right in the morning he would get up, tie his turban, put on his clothes, put a jacket, put on his shoes, and he was dressed to the nines. And he was prepared for any job. He was a doctor, a medical professional, who became an administrator. But then he was so prepared that he could take up any job at any time without the plea. I mean, say, when you're not dressed properly, somebody say, you need it. Then you say, okay, let me get dressed. No, that's wrong. So these few tips would enable you not to work in a better way, but also to avoid, and most important, avoid procrastination. Do not forget, procrastination is a thief of time. Do not let this thief of time steal your energy, steal your time, steal your capability to work. I'm sure you will benefit, and thus you will better thyself. Thank you.